Just eat plants and you can eat as much as you want. Have you ever heard that before? Have you ever perhaps said that yourself before? You can have seconds if you're doing the 50-50 plate, no problem. You can go back for more, so long as it fits that 50-50 plate formula. It's whole food, you're eating plants. Don't worry about the portions so much. That's not important. You wouldn't believe how often, or maybe you would, I hear these things when I open up my Instagram, when I open up my YouTube, when potential clients reach out to me for the first time. It's incredible how many people have either been told or have falsely assumed that eating plant-based is a free pass to eat as much as they want. Unlimited portions. Doesn't matter as long as it's whole plant foods, right? Maybe you even believe this yourself right now watching this video. Remember, two things can be simultaneously true. Two things can be true at the same time. Number one, the plant-based diet contains so many low-calorie foods, so many foods with a low caloric density, that you can eat quite generously and still lose weight. That's absolutely correct, right? That can be true. As well as, number two, the plant-based diet contains some higher calorie foods with a higher caloric density that you can't eat quite so liberally, quite so generously. And even then, even with the more low-calorie foods, let's say, if you eat them in unnecessarily large portions or graze when you're bored, stressed, other forms of emotional eating, or you've got binge eating problems, you might still overdo it, even on the lower calorie plant foods. And these things can be simultaneously, true. And I think that's lost. I think in this world of absolutes where it's either got to be one thing or another, so simplistic and unnecessarily so, falsely so. Number one, plant-based diets are amazing for weight loss because, or for one reason, because of their low caloric density. But two, that doesn't mean you still can't overdo it. It's still possible to overdo it despite how highly effective this approach is. Does that make sense? So with this question of can you eat as much as you want, which I suppose is what we're trying to tackle here, is it true? Can you eat as much as you want on a plant-based diet? Well, it depends what you mean by as much as you want, right? That might look very different for yourself as it might do for me. Make sense? So versus other nutrition approaches, the volume of your meals, with this whole foods plant-based methodology, compared to the calories that that volume contains, is absolutely outstanding. And it's one of the reasons why this plant-based approach is highly effective for weight loss. And I would say, just to add weight to this argument, I would say roughly 7 out of 10-ish clients will reach out to me after 1 week on Vegan, Slim and Sustain in their first Sunday check-in, and they will say, Ryan, I'm utterly amazed at how much food I can eat on this plan and still lose weight. Ryan, when you first gave me that meal plan, even though I trust, people literally say this to me, when you first gave me that meal plan, yes, I trusted you, but I read through it and I was like, surely I'm going to get fat from this. Surely I'm going to gain weight from this. So it is amazing how much you can eat, but that's only with the right dietary planning. Do you see what I mean? So versus other nutrition approaches, this approach is absolutely incredible. But that's only because, with my clients at least, that's only because I'm planning it for them, right? If you just copy and paste from a YouTube video you saw or from an Instagram post, if you just copy and paste the portion sizes, like, oh, that person's eating that meal, they're in good shape, I'm just going to do that plant-based meal myself. Or alternatively, you're just eating as much as you want until you deem that you're full or you've had your fill. Well, and you haven't got that much experience yet, well, you might be in trouble. You might well be in trouble if you're copy and pasting. So bottom line, be mindful of your portion sizes. This is totally lost in the plant-based world, in the plant-based sphere. And I can sort of understand why, because of how highly effective this approach is, because of the low caloric density of many foods under the plant-based umbrella. But that doesn't mean that it's impossible to overeat. Even healthy plant-based foods can contribute to weight gain if consumed excessively. You can use things like smaller plates and bowls to help control your portion sizes. You can try and get more present and mindful in the moment. Next time you go to open the fridge, do you actually need to eat right now? Next time you've got a plate in front of you and you're eating it, do I actually need another bite here? Am I full? Becoming more self-aware in the moment, actually assessing, being present and trying to assess, have I had my fill here? These mindfulness practices can really, really help you work out if maybe you are going over the top with your portion sizes. You can also watch some of my other videos where I've walked through how to determine your calorie targets if you want to be slightly more scientific with this. Bottom line, just know that it is still possible to overeat, even on a plant-based approach, even eating whole foods. And that's where, I know this is coming from me, but that's where my program is a game changer for clients, because they come to me thinking, I'm eating plant-based, Ryan, why am I not losing weight? Even the ones that are being consistent. Right, Ryan, I'm being consistent. I'm following this whole foods plant-based methodology. Why on earth am I not losing weight? I've been told by every YouTuber under the sun that I should be losing weight right now. And all I do is I make a meal plan for them that tells them exactly what and how much to eat. And it might just be a couple of tweaks in some cases from how they were eating before. And boom, that scale starts absolutely flying just because of maybe a 80, 90, 100 calorie difference to their meals. Their overall meal plan for the day. It might just be 30 calories on a meal, and that gets that scale moving even more effectively. So yeah, it's a game changer because I create them a personalized plan that tells them exactly what and how much to eat. Now, what's interesting about this is I'm just talking about overeating right now. This whole 5-6 minutes I've given on portion control, I've been talking about overeating. Adversely, I actually, would you believe, have a certain percentage, and this will affect a number of you watching this video. I have a certain percentage of new clients that were under-eating before they joined Vegan, Slim and Sustain. And because they were eating all those low-calorie plant foods that are so, as I said earlier, high in volume for the calories they provide, they were actually getting full without consuming enough calories. So when I talk about portion control, I'm not just talking about overeating. I'm also advising to make sure that you're not undereating as well. Some signs that you might be undereating, it's pretty obvious, admittedly, in many cases, but lethargy, fatigue, just low energy generally, irritability, that's a big sign for me when I'm starting to get hungry. I've not fed myself enough in a day. I've not fueled myself enough. I start to get a bit snappy, right? Comes out a bit temperamental. Frequent hunger pangs, growling stomach. Again, these things are natural to a degree, right? You don't want to never be hungry. But if you notice that it's very, very frequent, again, you might not be feeding yourself enough. Rapid weight loss, obviously a telltale sign. Hair loss, brittle nails, other functions in the body not performing quite so well. Libido dropping, so on and so forth, radical changes to menstrual cycles and whatnot. These can all be signs that you're under-eating. So hopefully, whether undereating or overeating, hopefully you can use these tips as a guideline to increase or decrease your portions as necessary.
If you found the information in this video helpful, but you need that next level of instruction, support, and accountability to, number one, lose weight, number two, learn how to easily keep it off this time round, and number three, create healthy habits for life, click the link below. I'll tell you more about how I've helped over 300 men and women lose 10, 20, 30 or more pounds with simple plant-based meals without having to count or track their calories and with gentle exercise only. Click the link below this video.